Hey guys, Tiffany Ofili Porter here, where I discuss all things life after sport. In this video, we are going to talk about why I chose to become a stay-at-home mom, as well as the 6 benefits that I have experienced while doing so. So if that video sounds interesting, make sure you keep on watching.
Motherhood with medals on her chest. She's proven that greatness knows no rest. Representing the countries with pride she stands.
So I jotted down some notes here. If you see me glancing down, that is why. Hopefully that's not too distracting. This is a little bit of a different format of video than I've done in the past. So let me know if you like the different background and just the more casual conversation that hopefully adds value. So back in 2023, my family and I moved to Kansas City, and my husband and I sat down and made the decision, with me primarily being the driving force, for me to stay home full-time, primarily for our kids. As someone who's worn many hats in the past, professional athlete, pharmacist, real estate investor, I knew that becoming a full-time stay-at-home mom was going to be a change of pace, but it was one that I welcomed enthusiastically. Now, realistically, one could argue that I'm actually more of a work from home mom than your traditional stay-at-home mom, because I do create content full time, and I also do still practice pharmacy. I work in the pharmacy as a pharmacist, 1 shift per month, but for the most part, my day-to-day is me being at home in the house with my kids. And honestly, I'm just very grateful to be able to pour into my family, which I consider to be my first ministry right now in this season, in the best way that we see fit as a family. So now, with over a year and a half of being a stay-at-home mom, I do feel as though I can speak confidently to my experience. So here are the 6 benefits that I have experienced since becoming a stay-at-home mom. Number 1, bonding with your children. Being a stay-at-home mom, it kind of goes without saying that it allows you to spend more quality time with your children, especially during those formative years. And this creates strong emotional bonds, and it can create lasting memories as well. When we lived in Ohio, I was working part-time in the pharmacy kind of more regularly than I do now. So I averaged about 22 hours per week. And I did find that that was a happy medium between being present, being home with my daughter, and still being able to kind of stay tapped into my pharmacy career. Then flash forward a year later, we moved to a new city where we didn't know anyone, had to adjust to life with 2 kids. And it just made sense at that time for me to step back and stay at home and really focus on making our house a home. Now, during both of those phases, I did feel as though I was connected to my kids and I was able to bond with them greatly. So by no means am I saying that working moms cannot do so while still maintaining their careers outside of the home. But I will be honest and say that in this season, I'm really enjoying this extra time that I have right now to really bond with my son and just be very present and give that hands-on care to my daughter as she's in kindergarten now and learning to read and doing math and all of the things. It just allows me to be fully present for my kids in the way that makes the most sense for our family in this season. Number 2 benefit to being a stay-at-home mom is that hands-on parenting. You have greater control over how your children are being raised, their daily routines, the values and lessons that they're learning on a day-to-day basis. When you are the primary caretaker, you don't really have to worry about whether the babysitter or nanny's approach is in alignment with how you want to raise your children, because essentially you are the captain of your own ship. And with that, you have the autonomy to raise your children with love and just the peace of mind in knowing exactly what lessons they're being taught and who they're coming into contact with on a day-to-day basis. And for me, there is just so much joy and satisfaction in knowing that I'm fully hands-on in the nurturing of my children. Number 3, witnessing those milestones. When you're staying at home, you won't miss those key milestones, like your children taking their first steps or saying their first words, because you are there in the flesh 100% of the time to be able to witness said milestones. And this has been one of my favorite aspects about being a stay-at-home mom and not having to split my attention between my work life and my family life, and just being fully vested on what's going on from hour to hour within my household. You have the luxury to be fully present when those milestones occur and maybe even catch them on camera for you to cherish for years to come. And honestly, these small moments are what add up to create those long-lasting memories that create your motherhood journey and your children's childhood. I'll see if I'm able to attach a video of JJ taking his very first step at 11 months. It was an extremely special moment for him and I was just so grateful that I was there to witness it and give him that positive feedback and just have all the feels from, experiencing such a big milestone in his life. Number 4 benefit of being a stay-at-home mom is it creates consistency and stability. Providing a stable environment can help children to feel secure, especially in the early stages of their development. My children are very well adjusted, and I take great pride in being available to, give them that nurturing atmosphere for them to thrive and feel fully supported. Now, I've spoken before on my less than ideal journey to motherhood and how there were times I even doubted that I would even have the privilege of becoming a mom. So sitting here now and being able to be that constant in my children's life is really a dream come true and a privilege that I vowed that I would never take for granted. And you can watch the video of my journey to motherhood to kind of get a better feel for why I feel the way I do. And I'll go ahead and link it right here. And it was just, a very dark time in my life to now being on the other side of that loss. I'm just very grateful. And I thank God for allowing me to become a mother and now to even take it a step, in the direction that I love by being a stay-at-home mom. Number 5 benefit is the cost of childcare. Depending on where you're located, childcare can be prohibitively expensive. And staying at home might make financial sense for your family. Now, although my salary as a pharmacist is well paying and it's more than what I would pay even for full-time childcare, I still am so grateful to be able to take a step back from work and focus on nurturing and caring for my children, despite what some people may argue is me leaving money on the table by not, capitalizing on the financial gains I could have from working full-time as a pharmacist. The time freedom that I have to pour into other passions like content creation, the money we are saving from childcare, and the peace of mind in knowing the level of care that my children receive on a daily basis has honestly been priceless. Number 6 is flexible scheduling. You can create a schedule that makes the most sense for you and your family without having to be tied to the constraints of an employer's schedule. And honestly, this schedule freedom to me is one of my greatest perks about being a stay-at-home mom, because if I'm being honest, in my opinion, the greatest wealth in life is really time freedom and being able to have full ownership of your time. I strongly believe that time is our most valuable currency. So being in a place to have full ownership of my day is a privilege that I honestly do not take for granted. Now, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Tending to a house and taking care of kids is work. Okay. I hate the argument of, is it harder to stay at home or is it harder to go to work? Because as somebody who's done both and has experienced both, I certainly can say it's just work either way. Honestly, and there's some days that I do feel like going into the pharmacy would be easier than just, being a stay-at-home mom. However, being a stay-at-home mom is very gratifying work, and it just gives me, like I mentioned, the flexibility to pour into other passions and interests while still getting the benefits of being present fully for my children. So honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. For now. Now, who knows, 5 years from now, when my son goes off to kindergarten, we might be having a very different conversation. But I can just say now very confidently, a year and a half in, that this stage of life that we are in, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm just incredibly grateful to be able to be, that constant in my children's life and to kind of also reap the benefits of being able to stay at home with them. So to the mom out there who's been considering, whether or not she should stay at home with her children, or the working boss mama who goes into her career every day and is still doing an incredible job at balancing her work and life balance, I see you, I salute you, and I respect you. Everyone's path to happiness is different, and I do believe it's very important to stay in your own lane and endeavor to try to find joy and happiness in whatever season that you find yourself in at this time. So anybody out there who has been on the fence about whether or not staying at home is a good fit for you, I hope you found this video useful. And if not, if you're a working mom and you're just kind of curious as to maybe one day this might be in your future, I hope you can refer back to this and, tap into some of those benefits that I have mentioned. And if you're just someone who wanted to kind of just hear more about my journey to being a stay-at-home mom, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any topic here that I discussed that you would like for me to elaborate on, or if there's anything that you want me to kind of discuss in my next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure you subscribe to join the family, and I look forward to chatting with you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.